Surprise, surprise, wearing a black t-shirt, drinking a coffee. Expect no less. Well, if you're watching this video, you're probably, just like me, you're a man, maybe a woman, in your mid-30s to early 40s, and you're at a stage in your life where maybe your friendships with people have started to fade, or you find yourself in a situation where maybe you're not enjoying the friends that you've been around for a long time. Whatever it is, the point is that you don't have as many friends as you used to, or people that you enjoy being around, and especially the times we just lived through in 2020 and 2021, you may not have that kind of access to people like you've had in the past, and maybe your relationships have grown apart. Point is that you want to meet new friends, and I've been through this myself several times. I shared this in previous videos when I moved country a long time ago, also when I got divorced. There's been periods in my life where I've had to really reinvent myself and start to expand my kind of perspective about what it means to be friends with people and how to find new friends. So if you're interested in doing that, I have 4 different tips that I'm going to share in this video. They're all very practical. They're things that you can do whether you're an introvert, you're an extrovert, or you're somewhere in between. And I promise you, if you follow just one of these, they will definitely help you to make more friends in your 30s and your 40s. So let's get started. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't ask. If you do like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment about your experiences or what you're going through, what you've learned. And if you like what I'm saying here and you think you'd like to stay connected, please subscribe to the channel because it helps me to grow, helps other people to see the content and ideas that I'm sharing. And it'd be great to stay connected with you. All right, let's get started. Actually, just before I get started with the 4 tips, there's one more thing I want to say to you. It is not your fault that you're in this situation. This is a common thing that happens in everyone's life at some stage. Our friends, evolve or change, or they stay the same and we change. Life happens to us, circumstances get in the way, and things cause us to be in this situation where we feel like we don't have the social life that we once did. And it's not our fault. It's a reality of the life that's happening around us. But there's a danger if you think that it's your fault or it's a reflection of who you are. It's definitely not. You are a worthwhile, valuable person, the same as everyone else on earth. Everyone else has great friendships. You can have them too. It's just a matter of changing the way you think and the way you behave and realizing that you are worthwhile. So I want to add that in as a mindset just in the beginning because that can be a trap that you can fall into if you're in this circumstance. All right, here's the tips. All right, so tip number 1 comes down to one simple word. Generative. Now, if you've never heard that word before, I'm going to read the definition to you right now. Generative means having the power of function of generating, originating, producing, or reproducing things in our lives. Okay? As human beings, that is one of our unique abilities, is that we're generative as humans. We can actually think of ideas, we can instigate things, we can create things, we can lead things, and that is something that's very unique to us as humans. One of the traps that we fall into, especially as we get older, is that we stop being as generative as we were when we were younger. If you think about it, when you're a little kid, you're always inventing games and fun activities and things like that to do. And as a teenager, you're kind of exploring the world, you want to go out and see things and get into life. What I've noticed in myself and also in a lot of people is as you get into your 30s and into your 40s and age like that, you start to become less generative. You start to kind of become more passive in your life, not trying as many new things, not experimenting, not kind of pushing the boundaries of who you think you are as much, and that starts to make you kind of shrink. But what it also does is it reduces the amount of people who you have in your life. One of the things that I have learned is that it's very simple just to think in terms of new interests and ideas and things that you want to learn about or you want to experiment with or you want to experience in your life, and start to be the person who instigate those things in your life with your friends. So be the person who starts to kind of think of new activities, new events, new kind of plans, actions that you can take, whether it's, travel or it's kind of learning something new or whatever it is. Think in terms of being more generative and taking the lead with the people that you know in your life and actually starting to invite them to become part of those activities with you. Now, this idea of being generative leads directly into tip number 2, which is to focus on interests. One of the mistakes that we very often make in our lives when we want to make new friends is we try and focus on social skills or, being more sociable or whatever. But actually, as you get older, as you get in your 30s and 40s, the reality is that most people are focused on interests, things in their lives. You might be a person who has a lot of friends who have kids, for instance. Their interests will definitely revolve, as you probably noticed, around their kids' activities, right? Their lives and their interests have very much diverged. If you're a person who doesn't have kids, that's a totally separate video. But if you're a person who doesn't have kids and all your friends have kids, then you're going to find your interests have started to diverge. Well, that doesn't mean that you have to be antisocial or you can't be around those people anymore, but you're probably going to want to focus on new interests and people who have new interests in your life. So what I would say is pick 1 to 2, maybe 3 things in your life that you can do, that you can start to learn, that you can start to kind of, bring into your life as a new hobby or an interest, and start to focus on that 1 day a week, 2 days a week, on the weekend, whatever it is. It might be something physical, like getting outdoors, playing a team sport, might be something like a musical instrument, whatever it is. I, a couple of years ago, decided to join Toastmasters because I wanted to become a better public speaker. That's been a huge boon for me in terms of not just professional skills, but also the ability to make a ton of new friends. So whatever it is in your life, focus on interests rather than just trying to make friends, because friends are kind of like a byproduct of having interests and being an interesting person in your life. Tip number 3 is invite, don't ask. Now, what the hell is the difference there? If you're going to ask someone to go and do something with you versus inviting someone to do something. This kind of leads into the idea I had earlier about not being generative in your life. Most human beings, as we get older, we're not really doing new activities. We're not seeing new people. We're not doing new things. But if you get invited to something, it kind of has like an enticing feeling to it. So rather than just ask people to hang out and do something, invite them to an event. Say, hey, this weekend I'm going to go on a hike this mountain. Would you like to come with me? This weekend I'm going to go and check out that art gallery. I'm going to start learning guitar. Would you like to come along to a class with me? Or it might be as simple as, hey, I'm going to host a poker night at my house this weekend. I'm inviting a couple of people. Would you like to come? All right, something as simple as that. It doesn't have to be this huge invitation, but invitations are very exciting and enticing, and they make people want to do things with you. About a year ago, I started talking to a guy through Instagram who ran a similar business to the one I run, and we decided to meet up and have coffee one day and just talk about our businesses and how we were kind of, using different tools and things like that. It was more of a kind of a business networking thing. And then through that, we decided to start a meetup. And it was a kind of a digital marketing meetup, something that we were just both interested in for ourselves. And lo and behold, we built this amazing community just because of this little kind of common interest, and because I invited him to have coffee to talk about something specific. So you can see the difference there. If you're inviting someone to do something specific, they're much more enticed because it's exciting. It's something new versus just asking them to hang out. Very often people will turn down an opportunity to hang out or to just do something ordinary because they're kind of bored with it. They're not that excited. And remember that interests are more important than the social aspect. So if you are focused on inviting people to do interests with you, they're much more enticed to actually want to do them. And that's how you become friends. And the fourth and final tip that I have for you today is something that I learned from a guy called Evan Pagan in a program he ran called Connected. And it's the idea of creating triads. Now, if you think about a stool, for instance, right, that you sit on, if you think about a stool, it has 3 legs, and that's what makes it strong, okay? The 3 legs kind of sitting there together. If you took away one of those legs, the stool will suddenly tip over. And what I've noticed is, especially as you get older in your life, that is the same thing that happens very often with friendships. If you have 2 people who know each other and are connected, that's great, but the friendship sort of runs its course after a certain amount of time, and it's hard to stay, just the 2 of you. However, if you invite a third person who has some sort of interest between the 2 original people, maybe they, work in a similar field, or they have the same kind of interests or hobbies, or they live in a similar location, whatever it is, now you've got 3 people who know each other and are connected. That little triad works a lot better, and it stays. There's a lot more longevity in the relationship, because the 2 other people might hang out without you sometime, or you might hang out with 2 of the individual people just one-to-one, and then you all get together at different times. Groups of friends are much stronger bonded, and you notice that back in school days or college days or work or whatever, if you're part of a group, you have a stronger connection because everyone knows everyone. Now, I mentioned Toastmasters before. When I first moved to America from Australia, that was one of the things that really helped me to build a social life, because I was in this environment where I was focused on an interest. I wasn't focused on socializing, but because I had the interest in public speaking and the people had the same thing, and there was a lot of people there, what happened? I naturally started to get invited to all these events and invite people to events as well. Sometimes I would run different, things for speaking or for business or whatever, and I'd invite people. And I started to build these little triads, these groups of people who knew each other and knew me. And I started to build my community, and it was an incredible way to do it. So those different tips that I've just given you today, as I said, you don't need to be an introvert or an extrovert. It doesn't matter what you are. What matters is that you first of all think of yourself in terms of being generative. Find ways to kind of, plan new adventures, learn new things, experiment, push the boundaries of who you are, and create new adventures for yourself and for the people around you. The second thing is to focus on interests. Don't focus on the social life, focus on the interests that you want to be part of, and you will attract more people who have that as well. Third thing, if you remember, is to invite people to things, not to ask them to hang out. Invite them to different events or adventures or whatever it is, and you'll get more people wanting to hang out with you. And the fourth and final tip is to build those triads, those groups of people, 2 other people who know you that you know as well. A group of 3 is much stronger than a group of 2, and you can make it even bigger than that. The more people you know in a group, the more bonded they are to each other, the more you'll be part of that group as well. Social life is important. You have to acknowledge the value that it brings to your life, and you have to think in terms of what you can bring to other people's lives as well. So I hope these tips really help you to start to expand the way you think about socializing in your 30s and 40s. I know for me, it's always been a challenge, but it's something that I've overcome by thinking in these different ways and trying these things. Remember that you don't have to be best friends with every single person that you know. Some people you're going to connect with more than others, but you'll find just thinking in this way in terms of the different parts of your life and how you can start to change and grow and improve yourself, you'll attract more people to you, and especially as you're inviting people, you'll start to build a better social life. So if you've liked this video, please comment below. Tell us how you've used these tips or what other tips that you've got that could really help other people in this community to learn to improve their social life as well. My name's Daniel Midson-Short. Thanks for watching, and thank you for improving yourself.